Hi, my name's Jessica.
Francis, how are you?
Hi, nice to meet you. Care if I take a seat?
Please.
Thank you very much. Here is my business card. Can I have one of yours as well?
There you go.
Oh, thank you very much. So, Allie Boardman actually referred me here. She's one of my very, very good friends. And she let me know that you went to Italy last summer?
Yeah, we go to Italy often, but yeah, the trip last summer was to kind of get the family involved in the business and kind of get all of our ideas of how we wanted to make it authentic as possible. Yeah.
That's great. So I actually have been to Italy as well. I went last summer, but the problem is that I have to go back because I spent so much time there just doing business and not actually enjoying the scenery around me. And kind of what I've found with a lot of my businesses that I work with is that many small business owners feel the same way as I feel about Italy. You know, they spend more time doing the mundane administrative tasks in their business than they do actually enjoying what they got into business for. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Well, what today, with our 20 minutes, if that's still okay, is just kind of take a journey and talk about what you're looking for with your business. Talk about your administrative tasks and kind of what how you guys do it, how it's going. And then if we kind of find an area where there's some benefits where we could help you get back to doing your business and doing gelato exactly how you want to do instead of doing the mundane administrative tasks, then we'll talk about the next steps. Does that sound like a good plan?
Yeah.
Okay,
good.
Great. So today, is there anybody involved when it comes to a decision criteria that needs to be in this meeting?
No, I'm the ultimate decision maker. I mean, Dorothy does the payroll, but I sat down with her for a long time, and she told me what she's looking for and what's bothering her. So she trusts me to go make the decision, and I am the ultimate decision maker. So.
Okay, great. And when it comes to doing business with another company, what is the main thing that you're looking for when you're doing business?
I need someone to handle the issues that I have.
Okay.
And I need someone that's going to be scalable because we're going to add, hopefully 10 more stores through franchise.
Okay.
Allie's one of those people, hopefully, that will get that going through. And,
yeah.
What we're doing today is not going to scale to that, and it's definitely not going to scale beyond that.
Okay. So with our conversation that we'll be having today, we'll be talking about the 3 stores that you currently have. And also then would we also be talking about the franchise or just the 3 stores?
Just the 3 stores for now, because if we can streamline what we're doing with the 3, then the 10 will be easy to take care of. So.
And within those 3 stores, I believe Allie told me you have 60 employees. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's about 71 if you count managers.
Okay, so perfect.
Yeah.
Altogether, 71 employees. And then, are you currently processing payroll in-house, or do you have a third-party vendor doing that for you?
So, Paytime is our vendor that we're using.
Okay, Paytime.
But, there's a lot of manual to it.
Okay. And then, do you process weekly or bi-weekly?
Weekly.
Weekly. Okay. Perfect. So when it comes to doing your administrative tasks, I have a wheel here, and this kind of just takes you all the way through everything from hiring an employee all the way through their taxes and any other thing that might come up. Where would you say any issues that you all are currently having in your administrative task might fall?
Well, for Dorothy, it's in this payroll processing.
Okay. Could you walk me through how Dorothy does the payroll processing?
Yeah, so the managers in the stores, they put together a schedule for who's going to work what time, and, they keep a sheet of paper, and if someone doesn't show up, they keep notes and all that. So at the end of every week, they manually type that into an electronic format that goes up into Paytime.
Okay.
So Dorothy doesn't have to retype all that stuff, but she does go recheck it because human error is obviously always there, and she knows what to look for. So she spends a good amount of time, checking that stuff before she uploads it, and she might make a change here or there, that sort of thing.
Alrighty.
And then she uploads it into the system, and off it goes.
Okay. How much time is that taking Dorothy and your managers?
Well, Dorothy says she's spending about 8 hours a week.
8 hours a week?
On payroll, and, that's too much. And that's not counting the time that she's spending on researching to make sure that we're, keeping up with all the regulations and everything. So
okay, so
that's a big concern as well.
Yeah. Is she researching for the human resource compliance area?
I think it's more for the taxes, and all that kind of stuff, yeah. And then what's really got her stressed out is if I'm going to add 10 stores, it's most likely going to be in 10 different states or 8 different states or whatever.
Okay.
There's just no way she can continue to do all of the manual effort of looking all that stuff up.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
Okay. So we'll get back to that, but I want to continue on the 8 hours per week that she's spending doing the payroll processing. What else could she be doing besides researching manually for taxes with her 8 hours?
Well, it's good. That's a good point, because I need her to be doing marketing.
Marketing.
Yeah, with this franchise stuff, I need her marketing, and once we get the franchises up and going, I need her doing recruiting to help get people for these stores.
Okay, yeah.
Because we need to help the franchisees get up and going.
Yeah, okay. So if you could have Dorothy move into more of a marketing position to get your franchises spearheaded and start being successful, what would that mean to you?
Well, I want her to stay in the payroll and HR and all that stuff as well. I just need to take time off to get into these other things, because I trust her, and I don't want to have to hire somebody else, because then it just won't work.
Okay, yeah, of course. So let's talk about your taxes. So right now you're all in Georgia. So all your taxes are staying the same for each and every store.
Except they change all the time.
Except they change, right. So have you run into any fines or fees for not staying compliant?
I've heard 5,000, 10,000. I've heard these numbers. I'm not as worried about getting hit with a fine.
Okay.
As I am stressing her out, right? If I got a $5,000 fine for something that she made a mistake on, I would just say, "Hey, Dorothy, it's okay," because I don't want to stress her out. Dorothy would have a freak out session.
Okay.
So you can just imagine adding 10 states to that, where her head's at right now. She's probably planning her exit strategy. So I have to take that worry off of her, because I'm not as worried about the money. I'm more worried about her.
Right, and keeping her happy.
I'm a big family guy, and that's why I got my family helping run the business, and I don't want to run it any other way.
Okay, alrighty. So as long as we can give Dorothy some of her time back, and she doesn't feel the stress of having to keep up with all the taxes, you would be happy with that?
That would definitely be one thing that would make us happy.
Alrighty. So anything else along this time wheel? Maybe when it comes to time and attendance, how are you all collecting time currently?
Well, it's funny you should ask that, because I've heard a couple of complaints about people maybe fudging time and the time not getting to Dorothy.
Okay.
Like I said, the money is not my main concern, because I'm trying to have a vision of where I want to go.
Right.
So a few dollars here and there is not a big thing to me. I don't know how much that's costing me, but
yeah. Well, actually,
I think it's more of a problem that I think other employees might get pissed off if they knew about that kind of stuff.
Right.
That'd be the only thing I don't want my employees to be upset, because again, 20 people per store is hard to maintain, right?
Yeah. So currently, are they clocked? So they're just clocking in with schedule, writing on paper?
The managers are just keeping track.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. If you could have a system that could make sure that your employees are clocking in and you could track it very precisely, would that make everything a little bit easier, make your employees happier?
Yeah, as long as it's cost effective, I'm sensitive to cost on that. I mean, I don't know how much time card, it's a bunch of equipment you got to buy and all that. I just,
Yeah.
I don't know about that part, but I mean, yes, that would definitely tighten things up. And as we get bigger, I mean, I'm sure a few dollars here and there will add up to a lot.
Yes, definitely. Keeping time. Alrighty. So with everything we've talked about today, we talked about the payroll processing with Dorothy and her taking 8 hours a week from her time that she could be reallocating into more of a marketing position to help spearhead the new franchises.
Yep.
We've talked about the time she's taken with research and doing all these taxes and just making it easier for her, so she no longer has to spend the time doing that and feel so stressed out. And then also just time and attendance with your employees and finding a more efficient and effective way of keeping time that is, of course, cost effective to you all as Yep. Yeah? All right.
So much sums it up.
Cool. With all of those things, if I can show you a way that we can solve all of these issues, would you be interested in hearing more about ADP?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So I have a fun little thing. I can sum ADP up to you in 3 numbers: 1 in 6, 600,000, and 98%. So 1 in 6, every employee in the United States, 1 out of every 6 employees in the United States gets their payroll processed by ADP.
Very nice.
We have 600,000 customers within our reach that use ADP.
Okay.
And of those customers, 98% of them, we have a retention rate of 98%.
Wow.
Yeah, so I know you talked about you're looking for someone who's scalable and people who are problem solvers when you do business with them. Well, I believe this 98% speaks to that. We are able to move with our customers, and we're able to solve their problems. And I believe that we'll be able to solve yours as well.
Okay.
And so your business really reminds me of a customer I have called Tammy's Cupcakes. They're based out of Jacksonville, Florida. And I'm actually going to write her phone number down right here for you. and I have some literature in here from her as well. But she had the same kind of issues that you have when it comes to the taxes. She had someone doing all of her tax liability. You know, they moved up to Savannah, so they had the same kind of statewide issues. And how we were able to help her is we went in and we implemented our ADP system into her business. And we were able to, no matter what, just keep her compliant. So we have a tax department at ADP, and they just go through, and every time there's a new law change, they send it on over to you. So there is no more having to worry, having to research, because we go ahead and take on that research burden for you. Cool. So there wouldn't be any fines, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. But also, Dorothy could take that time that she's doing research and reallocate it also back over into the franchise spearheading.
That would make her happy.
Yeah? So that would make, as long as we can make Dorothy happy and make you happy, would that be a good solution for you?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So next thing, we're just going to talk about the time and attendance. So keeping time. We do have many different types of systems that you could choose from. We have a number login where we could just use your computers and your employees could log in. We have time scanners with the cards and also finger scanners. The most accurate is the finger scanner, and that's what I would recommend for you.
Sounds kind of expensive. It's like high-tech, pretty high-tech stuff.
Yeah. Are you worried about that it might be too high-tech for your store?
No, just something that sounds all James Bondy has got to be expensive, right? I mean,
Yeah, they're actually not that badly priced. The way that we do it is it's a payment plan. So we bring it on in, and it's about $200 for each individual finger scanner. So for your 3 stores, and then we would build it into a payment plan over a year. So you just would pay it off a little bit each month, and we keep up with the maintenance of it and everything along those lines. And then with each new franchise that would come in, they could just go ahead and that could be built into the cost of how much their franchise costs.
Yeah.
So, and it's it's effective, and employees can no longer steal time from one another. And I just want to share a little statistic with you. I know you said that, the numbers are not as important to you, but if an employee was just to steal 5 minutes before lunch, 5 minutes when they clock in, like before, and then 5 minutes before lunch, and then 5 minutes after they leave. So just kind of fudging on their time just a little bit. And let's just say you pay your employees right around minimum wage, so $8. If 25 of your employees are doing that, you are looking at almost $17,000 over a time of a year that you're overpaying them. Just for 5 minutes, and 5 minutes goes by like that.
Yeah, that's a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, and so, and imagine if all 70 of them were doing it, so they're going to fall somewhere in there. You're falling right in between a $40,000 chunk of money that you're overpaying your employees. So with the proximity finger scanner, that issue would no longer be a problem. So I'm just going to write down that number, just put that right there. Okay. So if we could save you that time, or save you the time that they could potentially be taking away, and find an accurate way to no longer have any type of errors, would that kind of ease your mind a little bit?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, great. And then lastly, we're just going to talk about payroll processing. So I know Dorothy, she's not really touching it right now. The managers are doing that. But what we could offer...
Well, she's touching it. She's going back and checking.
Going back and checking. So what we could do is we could kind of put it all into Dorothy's hands. So take it away from the managers, where they could go back to managing, and then make it more effective and efficient for Dorothy to be doing. Okay. So what we would offer to you is called the Run ADP app. And what it does is all the time that from the proximity scanners would dump straight into this app that she can access from her phone, from her tablet, and also from the desktop computer. All she would have to do, come right on in here and push payroll. I'm going to pretend that you're Dorothy today, so push payroll for me. It's going to go into the week of payroll that you all are doing. Just click that again. It'll go dump you right in. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and see your check date, everything like that. Direct deposit, if your employees want it. If they don't want it, you can turn it on and off.
Well, we haven't been doing it because it's like an extra cost in pay time. Is it the extra cost to ADP?
Are you worried that it would cost more over time with ADP doing direct deposit?
No, I mean, is it part of... Do I have to pay extra with ADP?
No, you don't. It's included in the cost.
Well, I have to pay extra with pay time, so that's a good feature.
Well, that's great. So does that kind of clear up any issue you might have about paying extra for it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So go ahead and push resume for me. Okay, so what it's going to show you is all of your employees in a list, whether or not they're salaried, whether or not they're hourly, so it'll show you your managers and all of your hourly workers. Go ahead and push preview for me, calculate. Okay. And it's going to show you exactly how much cash is required. So this is the screen that Dorothy would see. Okay, go over to the bank, make sure that there's enough money to be paid. There's all of your taxes that you're going to be owing, payroll total. Also, this is a really fun feature. If she's having to do this right now, it shows you your reports for your liability and things along those lines. And so you would all just go ahead and push approve, and boom, payroll's done.
Wow.
Yep, so it's going to take that 8 hours a week that she's spending and almost take it down to probably less than a half hour. Wow. So if we could give Dorothy her time back and no longer have her focusing purely on checking the managers, would that make you happy?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay. So with everything we've talked about today, you know, the no longer having the stress of the taxes on Dorothy, making sure you're always compliant, right along with when you guys start expanding out to your 10 new stores.
Yep.
Making sure that time and attendance is effective and efficient and that you don't pay extra money to employees for extra time that they're not working. And then also just giving Dorothy a lot of time back when it comes to payroll processing and giving your managers time back as well. So with all of those things, would you be ready to talk about the price of the product today?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, great. Okay. So how it's going to work is you're going to fall within the 51 plus employee range. And so it's going to be right at $80 per cycle that you run. So you guys are looking, since you run every week.
Yeah, we're paying $50 now.
Paying $50 now.
Yeah, so it's a pretty big jump.
Yeah. Are you kind of worried that it might not be worth the extra $30 a month? Or extra $30?
No, I know I'm paying $50 now, so.
Okay, yeah. Could you clarify for me, are you paying $50 per cycle that you run or $50 per month?
Per cycle.
Per cycle? Okay, great. Well, what I can say is that pay time runs your payroll. At ADP, what I can offer to you is that we're going to offer you a full solution, all the way from hiring all the way through to your taxes.
That's true. I guess the tax thing, yeah. Because they don't currently, Paytime doesn't do anything.
Doesn't help you with your taxes.
They don't do that, yeah.
So that you can think of the extra $30 per cycle as, you know, us helping you with your time and attendance, us helping you with your taxes, and then also if you ever run into anything that has to do with HR, we'll help you along those lines, hiring, recruiting, background checks. We offer a full solution. So does that kind of clear up where that extra $30?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we're looking at $320 a month. Okay? So that $320 a month, would you be ready to go ahead and start giving over your information?
How much is the time stuff? 'Cause I'm sure that's got to be expensive though, right?
Yeah.
The time card stuff?
So the time cards, like I said, if we go ahead and go with the proximity scanner, it's going to be $200 per store.
Right.
So we're looking at the $600 per store. And then also, we have a one-time company ID fee of $150 and a $200 one-time fee to set up all of your employees into our system. So that's another $350 that can also be spread out over time. So the 600 and the 350, which is $950, so $1,000 spread out across 12 months. So just a little bit extra added on to the 320. So you probably could go ahead and say $350 a month and just go ahead and go with that. ADP doesn't have any contracts, so there is nothing that you have to sign. But basically, once you give over your employee information and we start getting your company implemented, your next payroll cycle is when you'll owe the $80.
Right. Gotcha.
So you don't pay it until we run your payroll. So with all of that being said, would you be ready to go ahead and start?
Yeah, I'm just, I've been with them for a long time. I'm a little worried about the switch over and how much time, disruption and all that kind of stuff is going to be.
Okay. Are you worried that it might take a long time?
Yeah, or just be real disruptive to the whole what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, I can assure you that ADP actually, it's kind of seamless. I'll be here to help you the whole time and also our 24-hour customer service. But basically, it's going to take about a day. So we'll come in and we'll help you set up everything online, get you up into the cloud, and then from there, we just take your information and run your payroll and help you with compliance and help you with taxes, and then any other administrative issues that you would run into, we could also help you just like that.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So are we ready to go ahead and get started?
Yeah, I do want to think about it.
Okay.
What you've shown me, that makes really good sense. I just wanted to maybe think about it. I may run it by Dorothy when she gets back in a couple of days.
Okay.
But I'm definitely, this is good stuff.
Okay, do you want to have a meeting with Dorothy? With
We
me
can,
as well?
Yeah.
Would-
She'll be back on Thursday.
On Thursday? Okay. Do you want to do Thursday at 8 a.m.?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. And if everything still stands about what we've talked about today and everything that I leave you can go ahead and show her. If we come on in and Dorothy's on board, will we be ready to get the ball rolling?
Yeah, I think if she's on board, we'll go through it. I think so.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and I'm going to go ahead and leave this roadmap here for you. All right. And here you